My Hero Academia 298. Wow. just wow. For the heroes, it's not looking good. For the villains, especially the League of Villains, they up. Heroes is down bad right now. We about to get into it, but first, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy, IZUKU, and let me know if you guys like the little setup. I kind of switched up a little bit. You know, I'm using my phone right now, not the webcam, and honestly, 1080 30 frames, 1080 60 frames, you definitely can see a bigger difference, because I doubt y'all was able to see all the wrinkles on my hoodies before. Now when I'm looking at it, like I'm looking at it on my laptop and my screen, it's atrocious. Like I might have to just start ironing everything if I'm gonna use my phone now. But let's get right into it, man. So Redestro, I had feelings before that he was gonna play a very bigger part in the story than what we got with just the League of Villains versus pretty much his army versus League of Villains, and then, you know, he took the L. Shigaraki kind of, you know, told him a new one, but I always felt that there was something underlying about this guy, that he was gonna play somewhat of a bigger part. And even though he's captured now, you gotta remember, he had heroes on his side and his army that was essentially playing, you know, middlemen, informants and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be foolish enough to believe that there's not people, heroes, police, board members that laid low and didn't participate in the war. I'm not too naive to believe that there's not other people still around that has some type of influence. So I think that he's gonna play another part. There's a bigger role that he has to play, and whether or not they break him out or not remains to be seen. I think the bigger story will be whether or not all the League of Villain members essentially stay, because in the chapter we still see that, you know, All For One still has Shigaraki's body. Spinner takes note of that. You know, Spinner knew he's been one of the ones that was keenly aware towards the end of the war before they retreated. He was the one that was mainly aware that something was wrong. And he even flat out just asked, like, who are you? Because you're not the person that I chose to follow. You're not Shigaraki. And if you're not Shigaraki, I'm out. And All For One, being All For One, he's very aware, he's very keen on people's emotions, their intentions, and he doesn't outright say that he's giving back Shigaraki or Shigaraki will be back. He doesn't flat out say that. All he pretty much says is just, you know, he's here, I know his will better than anybody else here, and when I'm done and when my plans are over and stuff like that, you know, we'll discuss this later, which we all know it's All For One. There's no discussions about anything whatsoever. So All For One is like a legitimate mastermind. He broke out all the other villains, not from just Tartaros, not from that just one prison. He went to like 7 and just broke out criminals. A lot of those criminals that All Might took out, I'm pretty sure, because it's All Might. Like pretty much everybody he broke out, just so that the heroes and the hero society won't deal or bother to look for him, because there's going to be so many villains out roaming the street that they're going to have their handful pretty much recapturing everybody. Remember, Muscular took a long time. It took Deku to get him. Moonfish is a serial killer. Toga's a serial killer. Dabi, we already know what's Dabi about. Like, these are really dangerous people that if All Might was around probably wouldn't be a problem. But then again, All Might was around and these guys never got caught. So All For One, kudos to this dude. I don't like giving villains a lot of kudos, but him especially, just playing the role of the demon lord that he coined himself in the last 2 chapters. Bravo, man, bravo. But we cut back to the hero side, and when we cut back, we cut back to just Bakugo waking up. And they say right before the panel that it's been 2 days. You pretty much see what the damage really was for a lot of the other heroes. Gran Torino's still alive, which I'm not really keen on him being alive still, because we saw Night Eye take a similar, like I was about to say bullet, but similar wound to the sternum / chest area, stomach area, and he died. Now you can assume, because you know he was pretty much a sidekick role to All Might, that he probably wasn't physically fit, but Gran Torino's an old man and he took a full fist, literally like Shigaraki and Akainu from One Piece could have a fight, like literally a legitimate fight. Like their fisting abilities literally fisting abilities are top tier, and Shigaraki literally had point blank range. Like Torino's on the floor, like literally on the ground, and all you just get is Shigaraki just wow, and there's more blood than what we saw from when Ace got killed by Akainu, but he's alive. I guess maybe Horikoshi has bigger plans for Torino's, which he needs him to be alive. But what was more crazy was that Bakugo was legitimately the one that had the most critical. And I guess you could say because he took multiple hits in multiple vital areas than what Torino had. Torino just pretty much had one giant vital, I guess, which doesn't even make sense because he's a short guy. But manga, anime, logic, throw it out the window. Even though with Horikoshi, he seems to be one of the main guys that uses the most logic in his stories. So, but he does it so much that we could let that go. Like we could let that slide and just give him the rest of the benefit of the doubt. But Aizawa almost died. Like the doctor literally tells the same thing to him than what he told Torino. If you got here a little bit later, I wouldn't have saved you. I couldn't have. And you hear Present Mike, he's talking about, or he wants to talk about Midnight and her dying, but Aizawa just can Aizawa just have one good moment? It seemed like his only claim of happiness is when he's with his students, and even that gets interrupted. They were attacked at the training camp. Bakugo was kidnapped. That led to All Might retiring. Kurogiri, his friend, was brainwashed into a villain. He loses another friend in Midnight. It's just damn. He's like Horikoshi is literally making Aizawa the Kakashi of the My Hero world, and I felt bad for Kakashi too. But in a world like this that's more similar to today's society, it feels different. It really hits different. Like it's not just 2 guys or 3 students that he has to protect and look out for. He got a whole classroom, and then he has a school after that. Like he's not just one teacher. He's not just one teacher to one classroom. He's a teacher to a whole school. There's a bunch of other kids, and that must weigh heavy on him, that he still has to try to keep up this image of a warrior, of a hero, and has to literally keep other people's morals up at the cost of his own. We also get to see Shoto, and Shoto is a wreck. He's burned. Like for Endeavor and for Shoto himself, both having fire quirks, literally being manhandled by Dabi's fire quirk, which is top tier. Like even Endeavor says that, and Shoto's literally just thinking of just how similar he and Dabi are. And even now that Shoto's he's connecting with his friends, he's trying to build up a better relationship with Endeavor. His mom, got back to dealing with his mom and getting that relationship back. His other brother Natsuo, Fuyume is bae. Oh man, did y'all see her in that? Oh my god, I'm getting sidetracked. This is a sidetrack that I would like to talk about, but even his inner monologue, he knows that after this war, Endeavor cannot beat Dabi. Like he just can't. Straight up fire for fire, he just can't. Even more now that he pretty much lost a lung. You know, he's half a breath away from dying. Literally. It has to be Shoto. And to think of Endeavors and I talk a lot about Endeavor in my Hero chapters reviews and stuff like that, but it's so poetic. Like you did all of this to find the best compatible child between you and your wife, your son, your first son, who we still don't know what exactly happened, because from the flashbacks it literally looks like, you know, he's disappointed that Toya, aka Dabi, doesn't have ice powers, but he's even in awe, like, yo, you don't have what I'm looking for, but goddamn, your fire quirk is badass, man. And you could see that he still loved him, but he just had to keep going. Like his inner demons, his inner pride, the need to be number one, or to have at least number one be in his family, pushed him to keep going. And it would have been interesting to see, like, we wouldn't have got Shoto maybe, or even Natsuo for Yumi, but what would have happened had Endeavor just been happy and I guess complacent with Toya? Could Toya have found a better way to control his fire? His fire is very self-destructive, just as much as destruction as it causes other people. Is very self-destructive. Like, could he have gotten that help had Endeavor just sat down and just say, okay, he could have still did what he did. Like, he still could have been his asshole maybe, but Toya probably would have not been the Dabi. But we see that it's not just Natsuo and Fuyume. We see Rei, or not. We don't see Rei, but the silhouette behind Fuyume, we can infer that it's Rei. Does she know what happened with Toya, aka Dabi? I'm gonna just keep calling him Dabi. Toya is a cool name, even he mentions it, but Dabi is just what I've known in my head now. Does she know what happened to Dabi when he was younger and couldn't really say, because again, Endeavor, and again, hospital, mental trauma? Does she know? Like, just the ending. Like, obviously nobody knew that he turned into Dabi, but does she really know what happened? And is she there to comfort Shoto or tell all three of them what happened? Because think of the trauma to Natsuo. Natsuo and Toya were close. Like, really, really close. Like, whenever Endeavor did something wrong to Toya ran to Natsuo and disclosed everything. And they were tight. Like, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys for Life, they were close like that. So to hear Dabi essentially just throw away Natsuo, and even the revelation that he sent a villain to kill Natsuo just to cause Endeavor pain, how would Natsuo handle that? Like, he was just getting to a point where he's not forgiven Endeavor, but he was okay. Like, there was a starting point, and with this revelation, I think that starting point is just forever done. I don't even think Natsuo will even give it a chance anymore. And for Yume, you know, she's been the glue for the family. I don't think that's going to affect her as much. I mean, yeah, it's your brother, but I think she understands that her role as always, like, I have to try to keep everybody together as always, at least till mom comes back, and then maybe with my one final piece of breath, maybe she could let out her emotions, you know, and keep her from breaking down. Who knows? But the Todoroki family saga is just getting started. It's going to be Shoto versus Dabi main fight. Whenever that happens, we're gonna get some great animation, manga panels, because Hirokoshi is a beast when it comes to these fights. We're gonna get something truly epic. So. And we close out with Bakugo seemingly trying to go to Deku's room, with everybody else stopping him, pretty much trying to say, like, yo, you'll die if you keep moving. And then we get the classic Bakugo with a little bit of a twist where he says, like, I'll die even faster because you guys keep holding me back the way that you're holding me back. So he's interacting with everybody a lot better, which is a good thing. Like, he's still Bakugo, but he's improving. It's like Bakugo with a lowercase b now. Like he's attempting. But then we see the last panel to end out the chapter. Deku, as Deku always is, hospitalized. Both his arms are they're more heavily bandaged than it was previously, like during the attack on the training camp. Like it's worse than that, and he hasn't woken up at all. You see All Might is there pretty much with his hands on, I think that his hands was on his left arm, his left bandaged arm. So I'm assuming we might get an arc where Class 1A minus Deku gets a lot more shine. I think this would be the perfect time where we kind of take the spotlight off of Deku for a moment. He literally just had life or death. Bakugo just had it as well. Maybe we take a step back, Shoto step back, and we get some sort of shine to Class 1A, because as a whole, like, they just went through something traumatic. We even see Momo, and Momo is number 1 in my list. Maybe Midnight's gone now, so she can't be in that list. She's not there, but we still got Mount Lady, here and there. But Momo's still distraught. Like she even told Bakugo, like, it's alright, everyone's alright. I don't even think she disclosed what happened with Midnight yet. I don't even think it's hit her, but I don't think it truly dawned on her yet as a way to like acknowledge it and grow from it. I think she's still in the stages of like grief. Mineta's even seems different, because he was damn near almost clingy to Bakugo, and that's something we've never seen from Mineta. Mina seems to be back to herself, but I can assume that it's her trying to put up a facade, the happy-go-lucky girl facade that she pretty much is. Like, that is her. But after something like this, that might be shaken. But she still seems to be trying to put up some sort of happy side for the class. That's it for right now, man. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, comment what you think is gonna happen with even the Todorokis, Deku, Bakugo. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you rate the chapter? Say it in the comments. Let's have a conversation, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. It's been Kills. See you guys later. Peace.